Now it's
Hello.
doing it. Everybody say something.
Hello.
Everybody's speaking.
Well, hello.
And everybody's here. We have Archie on for the first time. We have Eden here. We've got myself here. You know who I am at this point. And we've got Ryan here. Kyle's out again because he's busy making a contract with the devil.
He's busy making the perfect metis with the BSD metis.
Out of all the ISPs you could have gone to, you went to Comcast. You went to
Why?
You went to Comcast. Because I guess it's more affordable, and they trick you into getting that kind of internet. I hope he's got internet. I hope he's got internet. We're not like lagging out whenever we do an episode now, because Comcast, out of the 4 internet companies you have in America, that one stinks the most.
Sure, it's cheaper for like the first year, and after that, that skyrockets, doesn't it?
See, we gotta wait for him to start getting some of that programmer money, and then we can. Then fingers crossed we can get Verizon off of that. All right, let's get into it. We are talking about Rage Across the Heavens today, a very complicated book. There's so much stuff we have to talk about in such a small window. Okay, you like astrology? You like talking about? You like talking about space? You like the stars?
I used to back in elementary.
Because you read
I used to.
It's interesting to look at and think it's real for a minute. That stars and planets aligning that decides what's going to happen, what, where, and how, and it decides what kind of person you are. And then after a while, you begin to realize all this stuff looks the same between every horoscope. All this stuff looks the same. I'm Taurus. Why is the reading for Scorpio say the exact same thing? I thought this was supposed to be different.
It's the same, but with a different animal.
It's the same. We are talking about the Celestines, the strongest spirits in the entirety of the world of darkness. This includes Gaia. This includes Luna. This includes Helios, and this includes every other planet in our solar system. We get to talk about all the planets today, and the spiritual realms in each one. You may have an idea as to what these planets look like. You're wrong. You have not seen what they look like from the Umbra. It's funny with this book. It is one of those books that is a werewolf book and a mage book at the same time. This supplement can work with Mage the Ascension, and it will be perfectly fine if you want to run it for Mage the Ascension, because the Celestines come up in Mage, and well, those are pretty big wills of quintessence and magic. If you want to go and you want to cast spells on Mars, no paradox is there to stop you from doing that. These are high-tech sorcerers, worried about their little Mars bases. Alright, so what exactly is a Celestine? Does anyone have any idea?
The root of the word refers to celestial bodies.
Yeah, I'm thinking God.
Yeah. They kind of are like spirit demigods in a way. They're sentient, highly intelligent spirits that cover entire planets. And as we know, with the spirits in the world of darkness and Werewolf the Apocalypse, a spirit is only as strong as what it represents. You got a rat spirit, you got a glass spirit. It's only as strong as the animal, the material, or the concept it's based off of. These are incredibly powerful, as they are entire planets. You want to compare this as that squirrel to the size of Mars? Let's see how fair of a comparison that is.
You can't even compare them. If you tried putting the direct correspondent of Mars and not like an avatar, you'd simply cease to exist.
I'm just saying, one of them has 4 legs.
I would like the verbena more if the verbena weren't about the 3 mother goddesses and focused more on the planets themselves. If the verbena were the space mage, I would like the verbena so much more. But no, you want to be the blood and semen mage, and you're infinitely less interesting because of that. Is there a faction in Mage the Ascension that's all about space that's not the Void Engineers? I'm sure there's one of those like tiny BS traditions, but I don't think any of the 9 traditions really follows this. Maybe the Order of Hermes. Maybe I gotta read up on the Order of Hermes again. I like the Order of Hermes, and that's it.
I could do a quick Google search if that's.
You are going to find nothing, because World Darkness information is so sparse on the internet. It is
especially
so
mage.
hard to find this stuff, and given how abstract of a game Mage is, we're going to lean a little less on the Mage aspect of this book, and we're going to go almost entirely all in on the werewolf part. The werewolf stuff is what you subscribe to this channel for, so we're going to focus on that. And Rage Across the Heavens is also an adventure module, but we're leaving the adventure module out for the time being. We're just talking about who are these spirits and what exactly do they do for you.
Is that because
Because
it's
now werewolves, we offer werewolves.
Yeah, the werewolf stuff like that.
Is it because there's a whole bunch of information in it, or is it just not needed?
There's a ton of information in this book, and some of it is fluff text because, once again, you got mage people who are working on this book, and Mage the Ascension is full of useless bullshit that just takes up page space. So it took me a minute to pick through the information and find out what is and isn't relevant.
They went Lovecraft on it.
Alright, so we gotta define some stuff. Gotta make sure we remember some of these definitions before we get into it. Alright, who remembers what a moon bridge is?
That's something that allows werewolves to go back and forth between the barons, right?
Yep, you need a path stone for it, or a moonstone. You set it in the ground, you do the rites that opens up the bridge, and then you can use those as little teleporter pads to hop between these. The only way you're getting to an ethereal realm is that you're going to need to hit a moon bridge to it. But on top of that, you need to have an invitation from the celestial entity you wish to travel to in order to reach that destination with the moon bridge. This is how you get to these places. You need an invitation from the heavens themselves in order to get into the heavens. You need to be chosen by the gods, so to speak. How about a moon path? Who remembers what a moon path is?
Maybe I had the two
Moon
confused. Is Moonpath the one I was thinking of?
No, a moon path is a road that Luna makes for you that's highlighted with silver light that's used to guide you from point A to point B. That's what that's for. It's her making a little trail of breadcrumbs so you don't get lost in the Umbra. It's very helpful when she makes one of these for you. So if you want to find out where you're supposed to get these invitations from, you got Luna who's making little moon paths to you to find out where you're supposed to get this golden manila envelope from, so you can go to Jupiter. Alright. The Weaver's Webs, what does that do for you?
Increase the local gauntlet rating, making it
Yeah.
harder to enter the Umbra or exit it.
Exactly. You want to know why it's taking a little while for these Celestials to do something about the planet if they're so damn powerful? It's because the Weaver doesn't want them to get involved in the game. So you've only got 1 month for every year that a Celestial can do something. They can influence the planet in a little way, but nothing substantial. They can't solve the world's problems within a single month. They're able to influence you, but that's it. Alright. How about an Airt? Have we ever discussed what an Airt is on this channel?
No. How do you spell that?
AIRT. It is the quote-unquote spiritual footprints that a spirit will leave behind. Like a little prints of a rabbit moving through the Umbra, or the burn marks of a fire spirit that's traveling through the Umbra. That's how you can track a spirit. And just about every spirit can do this with each other. They can always track where another spirit has been.
So is this more like game trails or
Yes,
commonality
exactly.
paths where just one spirit follows another and then another follows that spirit and eventually there's just a path carved to like vegetation?
Yeah,
But the Umbra webs.
you use
Like
the
a game
eagle
trail,
eye.
it's a spirit trail.
The eagle eye in Red Dead Redemption 2, you use that, you see the little Donnie Darko wisp of air that goes from point A to point B. That tells you where your deer spirit is, so you can ask him for a gift.
Yeah.
I see. And let's see here, spirit gates. Have we talked about these?
Didn't we use one to get into the Fae?
Into Bacchus's realm and into the Fae, yes.
Yeah.
These are the portals that you use in the near and deep Umbra to get into other realms. Either a mage realm or a spirit's realm. This is what's waiting for you at the end of that moon bridge when you jump over to Mars, and you want to go see the Man of Mars. And lastly, solar wind. What is that?
The radiation that comes off the sun,
Yes,
ions,
right?
particles.
yes,
Yeah.
it's the The sun unintentionally trying to kill all life on the planet with this kind of
Otherwise
stuff.
known as solar flares.
It is what it is. The universe does not care about your existence.
Yeah, the greatest threat to the void engineers is the sun itself. Because at any point, Helios and Katanka Sunak, his name is a mouthful, can just smite you in space with a solar flare, and then behold, no more technocracy. No more threat. No, get the sun on this. All right, let me take a drink of this coffee, and then we can start going over who the Celestines are.
Just because.
You were saying?
I said. No, I said. They be like, I smith in thee, just because.
So,
is.
quick question before
Yes.
we move on. Which Celestine would be most likely to just de facto accept or have an open invitation to a Garu? Would it be
Lubot.
Luna?
It is Lubot, the master of Saturn.
Ah,
But we're going to go over these bodies in order from A to B. I gotta remind myself, do I want to go in with the timestamps and put in all these pictures? Yeah, you the viewer, go out and get a copy of Rage Across the Heavens yourself, and you get an idea of what these pretty little pictures look like. We are going to keep the pictures to ourselves, and I get to show everyone here what these things look like. You don't get to see it. There we
And
go.
then I get to do things like, oh, that looks so cool.
Yeah, let me know that I hate my audience. Alright, let's go over these one at a time. I had to go in like AI assist, blow up some of these images because some of these are pretty low quality. Okay, who are we talking about first? You want to talk about the moon first? So let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about Sakta. There she is.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, Sakta is the spirit of our moon.
Cool.
Now, when we talk about Luna,
Yeah, cool.
Luna is the spirit that harbors and looks over every moon. Every moon is under Luna's domain. But Sakta, aka Phoebe, which is what the Black Furies call her, is the spirit of our moon in particular. There's also a moon spirit on Deimos, Callisto, every other moon has their own little spirit to it. And what's the deal with Phoebe? Why are we talking about her? Well, every time you claim that you have talked to Luna, you haven't been speaking to Luna. You've been speaking to Sakta. Sakta is Luna's middleman. Anytime you want to go to Luna for a favor, you're talking to her. She passes the message on to Luna. Luna then sends that message back to Sakta. Sakta then tells you whether or not your plan was approved. Either she tells you herself, or she sends a loon to talk to you. And that's how that works. So if you were to talk to Luna, you would go insane from doing so, because Luna is we have the term lunacy for a reason. You will go mad in the presence of Luna. You don't want to do that. And
wouldn't you either go mad or just cease to exist, like at Thanos snapped or Dr. Manhattan disintegrated?
You would be
potentially?
filled with so much rage upon seeing Luna, because that's what she gives you with the auspice, that you'd probably just drop dead of a heart attack from from being that angry. All the fun stuff here. You don't want to meet these gods. You can't. The Garu mind cannot comprehend what you're seeing with some of this.
But how about a vampire mind?
A vampire mind? A vampire would get roasted if they were to go into Luna's realm, because the entire realm reflects sunlight.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
So when you... This is also the easiest realm to get to.
Delirium.
Repeat the question?
So it's like stacking delirium over delirium.
It is. You gotta go.
Humans, if humans see Goro, they go mad. If Goro see Luna, they go mad.
Yeah, exactly. You howl to her to let that inner rage in you out, and pray that you don't lose yourself to your rage. We could have had an interesting mechanic with Hoglosk in 5th edition, but you wanted to make it stupid instead. Alright. What does Luna's realm look like? The entire realm is white, silver, pale blue, pale yellow, and gray. Everything here is made out of silver. Moon silver. The silver that you find on the moon. that the Tenocracy would love to mine, but no, we got the loons preventing you from doing so. Thank you for posting that comic. Yeah, exactly. The moons would roast you. Behold, the entirety of Vampire the Masquerade makes no sense.
That is not how it works.
You just gotta roll with it. So with the realm of Sakta, it is a realm where you remember that SpongeBob episode where they go to the future, where Squidward goes to the future and everything's sprayed with chrome. That's what it looks like. That's what the realm looks like. Everything is chrome. And
Everything is grown in Luna.
And you stand on the surface of the moon, you see the moon city, there's the moon tower, there's the moon road, there's the sun off in the distance. It's pretty in a monochromatic kind of sense. And the entire realm is covered in loons who will tear you to pieces if you try to disrupt the realm. The Black Spiral Dancers have tried to invade this. They have been smote because a whole bunch of loons have dived onto them. That meant they stepped into the realm. You remember the loons, right? These are the guys that are teaching you the level 4 and 5 gifts. Your end-game powers is what they teach you. They're launching those on invaders if you want to step into this realm. And they're stern but fair. As for Sakta, she's very reserved, very soft-spoken. She waits for you to speak. She's a better listener than she is a speaker. And those who talk with her tend to have a very pleasant time. There's a tribe that she resonates with, and that's the Stargazers. The professional talkers, the professional meditators. She likes it when you are self-reflective, that you're aware of your own demons, and you can overcome those. She admires that in people. And Sarkta's this very, very wise woman, indeed.
Isn't there a tribe of a camp of stargazers trying to leave the planet on another one? Would she be receptive to that?
I know that there's a group of Black Furies that are trying to do that.
Oh.
And she does like the Black Furies. She likes the Black Furies, but she likes the Stargazers more. And that's because the Stargazers are the ones that are the most reflective. They are fully aware of their own failings. And haven't really done anything to fix that because you're still in Tibet waiting to die at the hands of the Kuei Jin. So I don't see what you're seeing the Stargazers sucked. Alright. Do you want to take her as a totem? Because this is the least expensive totem we get to talk about with this episode. Okay. That's the thing. Bombshell, you can take all of these Celestines as totems. And they are busted. You ready for this?
Hit us.
Background costs 7. What you get from her, she will give you 3 points of Enigmas, 2 points of Primal Urge, and all the members of her pack will automatically learn the gift Open Moon Bridge. The ban, Children of Sakta are pledged to defend the moon, and all the Moon Bridge and all the moon paths from predators of the worm. So when you work for her, you don't get a day off. You're constantly busy making sure that she stays alive and stays around. You are a very busy man when you work with her. Right. Now we have talked about the moon. You want to talk about the sun? You want to talk about the sun? Because as it turns out, the sun fucking hates you in the world of darkness.
I mean, already hates us now with summer.
He's trying to scorch you off the face of the world. He has got it out for the werewolves. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. So there he is. He's a big Native American man on fire. His entire body is like a solar eclipse, where he's got black skin. He's got black obsidian skin, but there's this white and yellow fire. Yeah. Why were saying, Archie?
It's a sunspot.
That's what he looks like, indeed. Yeah, he looks like a sunspot where his black skin will rupture, and you will see just a pure beam of red, yellow, or white light just shoot out of his body. And his eyes are constantly glowing. If you were to see Helios, you would go blind and catch fire from doing so. You cannot handle the visit of Helios. And you may be asking, well, why does this guy hate you so much? This man is Kantanka Sunak, which is what the Wendigo call him. The Wendigo named this guy. And he is very resentful towards all Geru because of the War of Rage. He holds a grudge for that, and he will never forgive the Geru for doing that, And he will not forgive the Silver Fangs for double dipping with Helios and Luna, where they went back on their promise to serve Helios and they made the Moon Lodge, and then tried doubling back on that with the Sun Lodge. But they know who the Silver Fangs really like. He likes 2 tribes, and that's it. 2 tribes he will talk to: the Children of Gaia and the Wendigo. If you are not a member of one of those 2 tribes, don't even think you can contact Kantanka, because he might just smite you the minute he enters the realm. Or one of his fire spirits will do it. You want to go on the surface of the sun? It's not pleasant, because the entire sun is covered in nuclear fire spirits that attack you on sight. It doesn't matter who you are, how nice of a guy you are, what business you are here. You are under constant assault by these fire spirits that want to kill you and burn you for fuel. Fun place to go to. And what's more is that sometimes you just might be standing in the wrong spot in Helios, and a solar flare just might pop up out of the sun and scorch you. You run the risk of just spontaneously combusting while visiting this man's realm. So if you want to come here, do your business and then get out.
The fire elementals are a test, but even the Children of Gaia and Wendigo face the same thing as other Gyro that are not part of the tribes. So even though he technically likes you more, he technically only hates you slightly less.
Yeah, he only likes one group, and that's the Korax, because the Korax directly venerate him. Well, the Makole do too, but he likes the Makole a little less than the Korax. The Korax are the ones that have the whole history with Helios. And what can we get from this guy as a totem? Ready to pony up 10 background points for this?
And it better be good.
He's so expensive. He will give you the gift Kiss of Helios, and he will give you 5 additional willpower points for taking him.
It's not bad.
Now, what does Kiss of Helios do? Better be something good, right?
It's got to be.
Right.
For 10, yeah.
While I'm pulling this up, your ban is that Children of Kantanka Sonak must protect other shapeshifters left on Earth, specifically the Makole and the Korax. You must leave your duties as the Garo Nation off to the side, and you must tend to every other changing breed except for your own, if you want to take this guy. You okay with that idea? Alright. So let's read what Kiss of Helios does. Okay. The player spends 1 point of Gnosis. For the rest of the scene, the Arun cannot be harmed by any form of fire, up to and including molten lava. Artificial fires do 1/4 of the damage they usually would do, and are treated as bashing damage. The Guru does 2 additional dice of aggravated damage if he attacks with blazing fists, claws, or fangs, and this lasts for 1 scene. So behold, you become the man on fire, almost immune to any and all fire effects, if you take this guy's your totem. That's a rank 5 gift. That is an in-game power that he will give you right out the gate. So, the cost is high, but that kind of power, that sounds very nice to have. I don't know, what do we think of this dude? What do we think? What do we think of this?
It's
Not a fan?
Yeah, no.
Alright.
He's kind of an asshole.
He is an asshole, and he doesn't apologize.
Thing is, he kind of has a reason to be an asshole, especially towards the Gyru.
Well, the Garo Nation kind of deserves it. The Garo Nation has fucked up a lot in throughout history.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's almost as if they're part worm.
Yeah.
Hold up there. That's thinking just that too far.
Right,
I mean, they literally have a piece of the worm in them in the form of rage.
Yeah, but the auspices, you get the devil deal with Luna.
I know.
Alright. You ready to go into Cleft Reed mode for a minute, Ryan? Because we get to talk about your guy next. We talk about your dude.
Mamba.
This is Meanu that we're posting. Check this dude out. He is,
look at that. That's sick.
He's roguishly handsome with a pile of garbage behind him. This is the spirit of Mercury, the planet, and the patron spirit of the Bonars of all things.
Yeah.
Now, what is the deal with Meanu? Change. The man is constantly changing. The man will change appearance as you are looking right at him. He will go from being an adult male to a child to a baby, to a teenager, to an old man, and then back to a adult in random order as you're looking at him and in the middle of a conversation. His voice will change what it sounds like while you're talking to him. His outfit will change as you're looking at him. Where he's standing, he will suddenly be off to the left after you're looking right at him and you don't notice him move. Everything about him is change all the time. He's like Zinch in a way. He's like a spirit of Zinch from 40K.
Does he also change into like other forms, like say Krynos form of a changing breed?
He can become whatever he wants. He's a constant shapeshifter.
He sounds like one of those old like mystics that the hero stumbles upon, and
that's what he is, because
from one way and all that other shit. Yeah.
That, you know, all the legends of the mentor who sends you on some sort of like bullshit quest to teach you a lesson. That's exactly what Meanu does. And you want to go to his realm because it's a gigantic gray desert of ashes. Nothing lives here. Nothing grows here except for Meanu's manor. It is this gigantic mansion, or is it a treehouse, or is it a castle, or is it a pagoda, or is it an underground base, or is it a military base? It constantly changes. It's like flux. The interior and exterior of his base changes constantly. You need a spirit to guide you through Meanu's manor, because it is a damn maze that you're walking into.
Now, is he doing this himself, or is it just something that naturally happens?
He's in control of it. He's in control of the change. And the reason why he does this is because he is kind of like a pseudo deity of change and adaptability.
Yeah.
He says that you need to be adaptive, you need to be on your feet, you need to be able to roll with the punches and go with the flow, be able to handle what's coming your way in order to become a better person. That's the lesson he's trying to teach you.
See, I like him, but I would hate dealing with him in the game.
And what is with all the stuff behind him is that he collects stuff. He'll just go to Earth, take something, bring it back to his manor, put it in a pile, and then use that to redecorate his house. So you've got stuff that he's been taking from the planet for 10,000 years by this point that he's been decorating his house with. you got stone Neanderthal spear next to an iPhone in his house. That's what it looks like. All right, let me clear my throat. You want to take this dude as a totem? You ready for these? You ready for these benefits?
He's a background 7.
7 points. All right, what you get from this guy? They gain 3 dice to all subterfuge and streetwise rolls, and learn the gift Blur of the Milky Eye. You remember how many times Sean used that in Rage Across New York, right?
Yeah, shit ton.
And every Ragabash gift you want to purchase costs 1 less experience point.
That's huge.
It's just good to have.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's very handy if you're going for a Ragabash build. Now the ban. Meanu expects his children to fend for themselves by finding appropriate tools for any task they go along into. He disapproves of over-reliance on any one item, and forbids his pack to carry any particular fetish or weapon for more than 1 month. A Talon, a single-use fetish, is exempt from the rule. So, stop relying on your clave so much. Pick up another weapon for a change. You gotta...
I'm glad he's not our totem, because I don't think Cleft would give up Mom Paw that easily.
You gotta have... What?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you say your idea. I'm gonna make a joke.
Oh, I was going to ask if we could go over the ash pits real quick in the sidebar.
Yes, tell us about the ash pits. Tell us what you see.
Imagine there's quicksand just under the surface of like grass or whatever in his realm.
Yeah.
And if you fall in, you suffocate and die, despite normally in the ethereal realm you can't because you don't normally breathe.
Yeah.
And he uses them to test Gyro and other visitors. And if you succeed, he gives you a powder that you realize is actually made from the ashes that you struggle through. But if you die, you basically get recycled and your bones ground down into more ash for the pile.
It's like the lightning sand in Princess Bride. You just step into it, you sink instantly.
Yep.
Would you say it's ash for the ash god?
Yes.
Ash of your bones.
Yeah.
Imagine if every single ash pile was actually like tens of thousands Garu.
Yeah.
That just got ground down.
Yeah. Archie, you got an idea?
No, I don't have an idea.
I got it. I was going to make a joke with Cleft. You got to go with the Borderlands build. You got to have this entire backpack of 32 different guns that you swap out for different occasions.
Yeah, it doesn't say that you can't use the same one after like so like you have to change it out every month, but it doesn't say that you can't recycle.
Yeah, you
Like-
can just set off to the side and then, you got a gun for every month of the year.
Yeah, essentially.
Thing is, you can't have them on your person.
Yeah, you got to put it in your little inventory chest in your cairn.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to talk about Hakah? Because I'm going to blow your mind. There's a secret planet that's hiding behind the sun, that's between Mercury and Venus, that moves just so it stays hidden from the Earth at all times. It is known as Vulcan, and that's something that's in the world of darkness. You got a secret planet, ladies and gentlemen.
Vulcan.
Yes, you got an entire planet called Vulcan. What's it look like? Yeah, what's it look like? I don't know. I don't know what the planet looks like because we can't fucking see it.
It looks like whatever the planet that slingshots Rourke's asteroid towards the planet that everyone thought wouldn't hit the planet because they didn't know another planet existed with
Yep.
the gravity field that pulled it into the Earth.
We have to talk about Rourke and how fucking stupid jackass he is in a minute. So Hakah, he is the patron spirit of Vulcan, and he is the patron of the Uktena. He is the secret god that the Uktena know about and will tell nobody else about. Uktena know this information and keep it secret. What does Hakah do? Basically, nothing. He doesn't really do anything all day. I mean, I'm going to show you guys what his picture. This dude just stays in his realm all day, every day, and he just makes pots. He just forms pots in his hand, and just he's the pottery guy. See, yeah. There he is, bombs away. Yeah, he's just a dude at the end of the day.
that is sick as fuck.
He's got the peace pipe in his hands too.
Thing is, those pots are people's souls.
Yeah, you see the little like pottery people. He's
Yeah.
got this
Yeah,
entire
exactly.
army on Vulcan that is based off of like the Japanese Hanya, the terracotta soldiers. Where if you want to invade him, you've got this entire army of pottery people that he has spent eternity building that are waiting to kill you. He also has what
Imagine if he just came to Earth with
with all the pottery people and took over the
Yeah.
planet.
He's like, I'm done with the worm, the wild, and the weaver fighting, and so, boom.
You talk about a zombie apocalypse.
I'll do my own thing.
Yeah. You got the pottery people apocalypse. That's what happens to you. You don't have enough bullets to shut all these pots.
The clopocalypse.
And what does Hakah do? He doesn't really say much. He just waits. He just listens to what you have to say and thinks, well, what can you do to improve that? How can you take the spiritual clay inside of you and improve upon it? And he also has a unique resource, Kiln Flame. You know about the balefire that the worm has? He has the good guy version of that. It is the purest possible flame that burns the impurities of your soul. And if you wish to visit Hakah, if you wish to jump around the planet to visit this guy, you have to walk across this gigantic road of fire covered in kiln flame that will burn your soul if you come into contact with it. And you'll go through this giant Silent Hill introspective moment as you're approaching this guy, as the fire burns the sins and guilt out of your body as you're approaching this guy. You have a
So like Dante's Purgatorio.
Yes, exactly like that.
Do gifts work on this plane of fire?
Master of
Like
Fire,
resist-
you wish Master of Fire will save you, but not, it still burns you.
What about
also
resist
mutates you.
pain?
Yeah. Where
And to top it all off, it mutates you.
it mutates you. It turns you into a better, more improved version of you after you get through the fire.
With some
does-
significant drawbacks too.
Yeah.
Would resist pain work or no?
Yeah, no,
Sure.
it's attacking the soul, not the body.
I got you.
Yeah. Now, if you want to take this man as a totem, he is a little on the cheap side at background cost 7. What does he do? Grants Pack an additional 3 dice in all craft/repair rolls, and teaches his children the gift Reshape Object, which does exactly what you think it does. And all occult rolls made by pack members are at -2 difficulty, which is very helpful to have when learning about lore. The band, Children of Hakah, must work to build things of importance among human communities. The better to teach humans to build rather than to destroy. You have to be an architect and a construction contractor if you want to be this guy's.
Or a glasswalker.
Yeah. A glasswalker or an antenna or a Black Fury, like people that are building stuff in the gardens of the Guru Nation. I don't see a Fenris getting on board with this guy.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
All right.
What if the Fenris invents a new weapon that the humans use?
Well, you might have his interest then. All right, let's talk about sex. You guys want to talk about sex? Because I want to talk about sex. All right. There's your sex goddess on the screen. Behold.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, take a wild guess as to what planet this is supposed to be.
Venus.
Venus, exactly.
Aphrodite.
Born under Venus, you got a big penis. That's what they say. Or do they say that? By the way, this is Tambia, who is the incarnation of Venus, a planet that is a hellhole because it's covered in yellow rocks, yellow wasteland, yellow clouds, yellow acid rain, and is the hottest planet in our solar system next to the sun itself. It is so hot and humid here all the time. It is miserable being on this planet until you get to her garden, which is this gigantic Garden of Eden, surrounded by jungle. It's filled with jungle. That's filled with stuff that wants to kill you. It's like Jumanji visiting her, with all the animals that want to tear you apart. What'd you say?
I just remember something. There was this one episode of Super Friends. Where the League of Doom makes an alliance with the leader of the people of Venus.
Yes.
And make Earth more hospitable for them by making it by accelerating climate change, vegetation growing. Well, accelerated growth of vegetation.
Yes.
And a more human atmosphere.
Yes.
I remember that.
That's something that she's a part of. She is the patron spirit of the Black Furies, and that's something that Black Furies can do. Plant growth is some of their gifts. So this is the perfect person to talk to. And Tambia appears wildly differently between person to person. She's either this drop dead sexy lady, or she's a crone when you visit her. She always changes what she looks like, but she's always a woman at some stage in the three faces of Eve. Either the child, the maiden, or the wife. That's what she appears as. And she really likes women. She likes children. Not so much men. She won't kill you, but she's not going to give you the time of day. So
I don't want her time of day either.
Nope. Now you might want to take her aside.
Girls only.
And she's also a war goddess and a sex goddess at the same time. She'll promote sexual health and sexual activity, but she's also a warrior because, after all, Venus is weird. It spins differently and it goes off a different orbit than any other planet.
So she's like Ishtar.
Exactly. She's based off of Ishtar because when the Babylonians looked at Venus, they saw that it had some like weirdness to it, so it was associated with sex and death at the same time. And well, I think that kind of summarizes everything we could talk about Tambia with. Just reference Ishtar, and you know what we're talking about, or Aphrodite, or who is the Egyptian Isis? That's the other version. And she sounds like Lisa Lefty Lopez from TLC. She's described as having like a deep, raspy voice when you listen to her. So just play "Creep" by TLC, and you know what she looks. Do you know what she sounds like? And what can she do for you as a pack totem? Reading what she does. Okay. Tambia grants each of her children an additional dot in appearance. They gain 3 dice on any empathy and medicine roll, and all non-Metis children of Tambia are given exceptional fertility. you have sex with the condom on, you will still get her pregnant. And yet you get you have a 1 in 5 odd instead of a 1 in 10 odd of your child being a werewolf after you make her your totem.
That's a base chance. So, what would kinfolk or pure breed do that?
I would say it would take it down to a 4 to say.
Because I know the upper ends with 1 in 10 goes down to 1 in 3 with purebred and kinfolk.
Yeah,
Would it be like 1 in 2 or 2 in 3?
I'll say like every point in kinfolk you have will add like 10% to the statistics. So say you have 20%, you would then go up to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 at the highest with pure breed. Then then kinfolk would help you max it out to 100.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if you want to be the kinfolk sex god, if you want to be a child of Gaia in the Aethera Inamorata camp, you take her as your totem. You just gotta find where else to get those background points from.
The children of Gaia, I would extra
use all your freebie points for that.
You got use all of your freebie points to get how many different backgrounds to make this build happen.
Single-handedly save the Gyro Nation, make like 1,000 pups.
There it is. Everybody wants this man's semen. I don't know why. Alright, the ban. Children of Tambia must work for the welfare of children, whether this means establishing better daycare facilities or caring for the SEP's younger kin. You have to take care of kids if you are using her as your patron spirit. All right, there we go. Asara,
the child,
what?
And not casually Mesatsu the child.
It is. It's like having Dolphin as your totem with the Wendigo. All right. We talked about Asara a little bit in our Gaia episode. This is the voice of Gaia that you're hearing. You're not talking to Gaia herself. You're talking to Asara. Gaia will contact you in a dream. If you claim to have met Gaia, you didn't. You're talking to Asara the entire time, who appears as a woman that's got mud for skin, vines for hair. Her body is covered in like plant growth. She's wearing a little plant dress whenever she appears before you. She looks like this. That's what she looks like to you guys.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
You see the vines growing out of her eyes, too.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, she is wild.
By the way,
but
you said that if you think you've seen Gaia, you didn't. That kind of has me worried for Zamir.
Yeah. Maybe you were talking to Ashtara, Zamir.
Apparently.
And what she can do for you. We're going to go ahead and we're going to read this description before we actually get into any other cosmic stuff. All right, background cost 8, which is a little surprising to me. Okay, she doesn't want to be a pack totem. But if she is, she will not be Ashtara if you take her. She instead becomes her other persona, Danu. And I looked at that and I paused for a second. I said, what, Danu? You mean the mother of the changelings and the true Fae mom? That
I remember.
Yeah, you remember that? So, are you telling me that this is the same Danu that started off the Tuatha De Danann and the Tir na Nog and all the stuff of changing to dreaming? This is who we're talking to? And does the book want to elaborate on that? No. We get no other further explanation besides that. You just drop this in our lap and then that's it.
Why would it?
It's
just too easy.
Yeah.
It literally just says go to Werewolf page 263.
Yeah, now what edition am I reading, jackass, with that page number? You just dropped that off in the book.
Of which book? This book? Another book?
You have 3 storytellers' guides. Be specific with this. And, well, what does her realm look like? It is a black beach with white water. That's what it looks like when you go into her realm. Okay, pretty simple. But you look off in the horizon, and you see what looks like these creepy statues, these creepy buildings that are filled with smoke and black clouds, where it's Ashtara's depression taking form in her realm. She is freaked out about the Weaver and the Worm, and it's making manifest. Her own anxiety and depression are becoming manifest in her realm. So you've got these desolate cities that are filled with the most undescribable shit you can think about. Like, people dying, genocide, hatred, that kind of stuff is infested in the city. And it's a training ground. You go into these as a werewolf, you stare into the abyss, And if you can handle it, you're going to get a favor from Ashtara. She wants to make sure you can handle the darkness on her planet before she can give you any sort of gift or guidance or ability. And that's the fun thing with her.
Yeah, there's back.
And her realm also has the song stones in it. It's a rock that sings to you when you pick it up. And you have to make a D10 roll every time you pick one up, because if it's a 1 or a 2, it's a song that fills you with depression. If it's a song that rolls a 3 or 4, it gives you confidence and a drive to fight for Gaia. And then 6 through 10, your results may vary.
So first is all around I see familiar faces.
If you talk to Ashtara, you're either going to feel very invigorated and motivated for the fight for Gaia, or you're going to leave on borderline Hirano after talking to her. And it's no secret with her having that Danu connection that Fianna like her the most. After all, the Fianna have her in their legend. This kind of implies that how the Fianna got started is that the original Fianna, Dagda, had sex with the planet itself to start the Fianna. So there you go. You are the literal child of Gaia, Fianna. Bombshell.
I can't help but imagine her realm as
my God Slayer.
I can't help but imagine a realm like the movie The Sound of Thunder, where basically they fuck up the past and then the present catches up in waves, and you just see all these creatures, hostile plant life, etc., just growing over all the buildings humanity made. I'm just thinking that's what the cities are like, where everything's trying to kill you, including the plants, the vines, the animals, even the ground you're on.
Well, you're not wrong. That is what it's like there. Let's see. You want to talk about Narol next? Ryan, where's Grim? Where's Grim?
Yeah.
Here's your god, Grim. There he is. Boom. There he is.
That looks.
Is that Fenrir?
Yeah, and he looks like a dude. Now, here's the thing. Fenrir has talked with this guy. He has spoken with Narol. And Narol will take a form that looks like Fenrir. Or did Fenrir take a form that looks like Narol?
Or is Fenrir his pet?
Oh boy.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
There it is. We're talking to Fenrir's father. This is the father of the Fenris. There he is. All right. Now, do you know Korn from Warhammer 40k?
Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne.
Do you know Crom from Conan the Barbarian?
No.
He will give me the riddle of thunder upon my death. And if I fail as a warrior, if I fail to answer the riddle for my years as a warrior, I'll be cast out of Valhalla for all eternity. That is what he is. Narol is a war god. He is the patron of Mars. His realm is constantly at war. There are star spirits from the nuclear flames of the sun that have landed on his body that are at constant war with each other, with their own factions. And that entire planet is constantly at war with itself in the Umbra. And that is the way Narol wants it. He loves the warfare. He loves the valor. He loves the bravado that he's seeing. And he will go out and he'll participate in the war and sweep every fight he goes into.
Marigold, give me power, and my life will be yours.
And that's how you pray to him. You pray to this guy the same way you would pray to Korn. You want to go into this battle. Now, and same thing with Korn. Narol hates magic. He wants you to stop casting gifts. He doesn't like it when you do that. He wants you to pick up a sword or get your fist ready and fight with that. That's how he sees the werewolf. That's how a werewolf should fight. And Fenrir is the gold standard of werewolves. He says you need to be more like Fenrir and less like every other wolf out there. Fenrir is what you need to be.
They will not stab you in the back, but they will stab you in the face.
Yeah, stab you in the face.
So far off the path.
Does he make any exception for gifts that are meant to like heal wounds and keep you fighting longer?
Nah, he says you're a pussy for you doing that. Quit relying so much on resist pain and just grit through it.
You're healing, fucking pussy.
There it is. Just grit your teeth, bite down that wooden plank, and then just get right into battle.
I was thinking more like Mother's Touch, like actually healing a wound that would otherwise kill you, so you can fight longer.
No, that would piss him off if you did that. If you need to go in there and you need to be perfect, you need to get this right the first time if you're playing with Narol. But he doesn't want you going into a situation that will get you killed. Be a winner, not a loser. Don't go into a fight that you don't think you're going to survive in. Come with friends. Be honorable with your tactics. Have a head on your shoulders when you go into warfare with Narol. And where does he live? The North Pole. Turns out Santa Claus is real. He lives in the North Pole of Mars.
Santa Claus.
There he is. That's what Santa Claus looks like. He's going to kill you. And he's brought you swords and axes for Christmas this year. He lives on the South Pole and the North Pole of Mars. And he'll just jump between the two. And as it turns out, yes, there is ice on Mars. It's on the North Poles, though, which is where Narol wants to live. Everywhere else on Mars, red dust.
Whenever I've seen a picture of Mars, has obviously seen the white thing on Mars. That is ice, of course.
Yeah, and the weird crater that looks like a smiley face. All that fun stuff on Mars. Let's see. You want to talk about mechanics with this guy? Because I think we went over all of his perks on Mars. Oh, I forgot one more thing. He has a Coliseum on Mars where he will summon stuff like Black Spiral Dancers, high-ranking Fulmoric, and Nexus Crawlers for you to fight. And if you win those fights, you get his favor.
How does he summon the Black Spiral Dancers? Does he just open a portal and grab them and drag them through?
You just have the hand of God reach from the sky and pick them up.
Bro, imagine being a Black Spiral Dancer in the middle of your hive in some rave, and then you're just in the middle of a fucking Coliseum before you're having one of your goddamn orgies.
Yeah.
Lovely day to walk down the road. If I ever stop singing, I will explode. God has chosen you to walk into the Coliseum.
Well, when God selects you, you better answer that call. You don't get to say no. So your traits. Background cost 8. Children of Narol will never enter Fox Frenzy. They always enter a Berserk Frenzy instead. The Ice Warrior also grants each pack member an additional die to Brawl and Melee dice pools, and 2 temporary points of glory right out the gate. Finally, each pack member gains extra Soak die, which cannot be used to soak silver, though. The ban. Narol's children are forbidden to show fear. You may not retreat from combat once it starts, and you're not allowed to avoid obstacles rather than overcoming them. Be a man.
I found the number one way to kill these guys. You just gotta knock them out, then drag them into a saw trap room.
There it is.
You don't even have to lock the door to get out. They have to go through the obstacle course. They're not allowed to go through the door.
I can put my face through all these knives. I'm a real man.
It's going to be like that barbed wire tunnel, where the more you struggle through it, just going head forward, ignoring the pain, the worse it's going to get.
Or the, the petroleum jelly fire candle trap? You want to talk about Roor? You want to talk about the biggest idiot in World of Darkness? With a guy who looks like that, how could he be stupid? So this is the patron. This is the patron of the Red Talons of all tribes.
Did the Red Talons make him dumb, or did he make the Red Talons dumb?
Well, he was stupid to begin with. Because you want to talk about Turok? Oh, wait a minute. You don't know about Turok? So
which version?
This was a planet that exploded because of the worm and became the asteroid belt.
Not gonna lie, I thought you meant Turok is in the games with the skull drill and stuff, because that totally sounds like something that would belong to him.
No, it was the entire planet that got blown up, like the Death Star, and it became the asteroid belt. So we have an entire planet, but we no longer know what it looks like. You want to go to Rourke's realm, it's a bunch of asteroids in a chain. They have to hop between in order to get anywhere. And if you fall off, you fall off. And Rourke is hopping between these asteroids, constantly screaming as he moves around. If you listen to his screams for too long, you will go insane from being able to hear this guy. And his realm is filled with spirits that just exist for him to hunt and kill. And that's it. You just live in this realm to die.
I think you forgot the hostile asteroid spirits.
Yeah, the
Although
asteroid.
I think that's in the Apocalypse book that mentions them.
Yeah, you have asteroid spirits that are just waiting to crush you between them when you hop through his realm. So it's you remember playing Medio in Star Fox 64? That's exactly what you're going into. You gotta look out for the asteroids that want to kill you. You're just standing on an asteroid, and all of a sudden one turns to look at you and then charges at you at full blast.
I'm just imagining that asteroid from Rick and Morty, where it's just like, and it just comes careening towards whatever planet the dinosaurs are on.
And yes, this is the same idiot that causes Ragnarok to happen in the Apocalypse book. Because him and all of his wisdom decides that he's going to solve the apocalypse himself by launching a meteor at Gaia. What the fuck did you think that was going to do?
To be fair, Luna or Ashtara decided to body block and got penetrated.
Yeah,
took most of the force of that.
Yeah, Saka took the hit, exploded, and then thus causes the events of Ragnarok.
The good rock, it doesn't fail.
It's the good rock because it's now all over the planet. It blew up after it got hit.
Honestly, I just thought that entire scenario was kind of dumb, so I decided to make my own homebrew of it.
Yeah.
Fix most of the issues.
Yeah, it's... Werewolf has a very anticlimactic ending. I mean, the Apocalypse was not as impressive as it should have been. Because, yeah, Apocalypse, I like the book, but it's got some failings. Where when you're writing a book as your company's going into bankruptcy and you gotta get that book off the shelf, this is what happens. Your writing will suffer. But let's talk about what Roor does for you. You ready for this? Background cost 10, dude. Whenever Roor's children act as a pack to accomplish a goal, whether teaming up against a single opponent in combat or pooling their knowledge to devise a plan, they gain -1 to all difficulties to any relevant task. That is great. That is great. Furthermore, Roor grants his children 3 additional dice in Primal Urge and teaches the gift Mind Speak. The ban: children of Roor are not allowed to forgive any crimes committed against them or their loved ones until they've been punished. He turns you into a rageaholic is what he does. I wonder...
Are you said that kind of wrong? It's any crimes committed against them or their loved ones have been justly punished. Okay. You said punish themselves or their loved ones?
No. I might have just phrased it a little bit wrong, but yeah. But yeah, you to forget is to forgive, never forget. When you play with this guy, you have all the tender sweetness of a Black Templar when you play with this guy.
Bro, imagine stealing a red talon's like a rib from like a moot like 10 years ago, and they just hunt you down for those 10 years because they have Roor as their fucking totem.
You stole his plate of baby back ribs that he was going to eat for that moot, and he's going to hunt you down and kick your ass for that.
Exactly, and you didn't even know that they were his. You just thought it was a pile and everyone gets one. But no, that one was his.
Ryan, did you know that there was a planet between Mars and Jupiter?
Of course.
It was called Turok, and the worm blew it up.
It sounds like something the worm would do.
I like it, and I think it's stupid at the same time.
Throw a ball. They will never forgive it. They will never forgive that.
You sons of bitches, you blew it up!
God damn you. God damn you all to hell.
And like, you want to talk about Zorak? Because there he is. Big dick energy with this guy. This is the man that Grandfather Thunder wants to be. And you will never be as cool as Zorak. And this guy, Silverfangs, you need to listen to this guy today because you've been listening to Falcon. And that guy's been running your entire tribe into the dirt for millennia. If you just changed yourselves and took this dude as your totem, everything about your tribe would improve. Everything would be different if you just took Zorak, because this is the King Wolf. He is in Jupiter, where his entire realm is this gigantic hurricane that spans the entirety of Jupiter, and it is a storm that never stops. It is very easy to get lost in Jupiter. There is no solid ground. You have to fly through his realm the entire time. Let's hope you took a gift or a fetish or something that lets you fly. Because if not, you're just going to fall forever through his realm. But Zorak knows you're in his realm. So if he sees that you have no other means of transportation, he'll make a path beneath you. And then you can just walk for days and days and days until you eventually reach his palace. And boy, what a palace is it? Is this giant solid cloud castle of yellow, orange, pink, purple, red, white clouds that it's got this giant rainbow pizzazz to it. And inside is Zorak, who has a lot of similarities with Bacchus, now that I think about it. Because this dude is a party animal. He is extremely jovial. Sure, he's king, but he knows how to let loose. He's hanging around. He'll tell it like it is. He'll want to get down. He'll want to party with you. He wants you to leave a fetish at his doorstep as tribute, but he'll just generously pile just gifts on gifts and gifts on top of you once you're in his realm. But don't take anything he does for granted, and don't insult him, because this guy will explode with a fiery temper. He'll reach down and he will crush you in his hand like a grape, and then immediately go back to being jovial after that happens. He's cool. I really do like Zorak. Out of all the Celestials, this guy's my favorite.
Should be mentioned that he's technically Karen spirit for a giant fetish in Chicago, in under a blood red moon. That's the entire Karen is one giant fetish of him that he embodies.
And I love that detail.
Yeah, and basically the events of that book are all due to a Black Spiral Dancer's plan to corrupt the fetish and then corrupt the Celestine of Jupiter through his representation in that fetish in his diminished form.
And good luck doing that, because they didn't pull it off.
They almost did.
Yeah, if you did. What were you saying, Archie?
I don't know. I think I just remember that song about Zeus / Jupiter.
Because Jupiter here, this guy's got some serious big dick energy. Like Zorak will just say whatever comes to his mind, and he's got this thought where he's thinking, "What if I just set myself on fire? What if I just set my entire planet on fire? Behold, I'm a star now, and I've got all these moons flying around me, and he'll do it." You just gotta keep talking him out of it because he wants to do it for some reason.
You know, I kind of wish he got corrupted in the end of the adventure. I wish he got corrupted just because it would probably make him a better totem than all the other ones that the Black Spiral Dancers have.
You've been kissing up to Whippoorwill. You wonder why you haven't taken over the world yet. You're listening to a fucking bird and trying to take over the world with that. Just make Green Dragon the leader already. Just go ahead and do that. That guy gives you the cancer fire.
Or Null Yacht.
And what else does Zorak have? He's got hose. This man's got hose. You know, we were talking about Saka and how every moon has their own
bed right now, I think, in that picture.
Yeah, that picture. You see that man. This man has got so many wives. How many moons does Jupiter have? You know that number?
At least 16.
Look it up real quick. Oh, fuck it.
This guy has got 80 to 95 different moons. And that's how many moons are floating around Jupiter. And each one of them is a woman. So this dude has got the harem, man.
You know, when you first said that, I thought maybe you were referring to like Garu.
No. Well, the Garu too. Tell me what kind of Black Fury would not want to get on this man's dick. This sheer sexiness, the sexy king energy that we got going on in this picture.
Raging lesbians.
Well, half the Black Furies then.
So it just reminds me of a faction from a comic. I forget the name, but it's basically everyone's in hell. They reincarnate there because they're evil, and there's literally one of the main factions is led by a vampire pirate that basically genocided all the men as soon as technology existed for
Now I'm her husband.
As soon as they eliminated the need for men to procreate. and that's why she's in hell. And I'm just thinking that's the kind of Black Fury that wouldn't lay with him. Like, literally kill all the men as soon as we have technology that means we don't need them to procreate.
We can just call Zorak down from heaven and have him impregnate us. And that's the thing. Well, the same thing with the Sora things, too. When you had that whole, like, Ayana Spechnikova thing where you wanted to impregnate your prepubescent members of your tribe, why didn't you just call Zorak to do that? Why couldn't you just call down Zorak and say, hey, can you give us the god sperm? And make a hero just as powerful as her to do that. You couldn't have just done that. You could have let the kid angle out entirely. I love those Sora things. They're fucking stupid. So yes, quit following Falcon. Take this guy as your totem. Let's talk about what he does. Start about his mechanics. Okay, where are you? Background cost 9. Crazy expensive. That's the same level as Morrigan. Okay, each member of Zorak's pack gains an effective level of pure breed. You get a free point of pure breed. He gives you better genes for taking him as a totem. The pack gains 4 additional dice in leadership and 2 additional dice in intimidation. The pack may also drive upon 5 additional willpower points per story. Finally, each one of Zorak's children gains an extra point of willpower for purposes of resisting external domination, mind control, or intimidation. Behold, imbued powers. The ban: Zorak's children are not allowed to dishonor themselves. Any action that would lead to a loss of honor renown will cause Zorak to abandon the entire pack. So don't be cringe. Don't make an ass of yourself when you take this guy.
Always be on top. Never a sub.
Really good at making a fool of myself.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to give you the second guy we're about to talk about. All right. Lubot, who is the other super expensive totem in this book. He is the Cosmic Owl. You might be thinking, are you bullshitting me with this? Is the dude just an owl? No, he literally is just an owl. There's his picture. This man is the Cosmic Owl. He's got...
That is indeed an owl.
I do wish he had a different picture because he's so out of focus in his own artwork.
Looks like he has butterfly wings.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he has like butterfly wild wings instead of feather wings. And you might be thinking, is Lubot the father of Owl, the Silent Strider totem? No! An entirely different pack is venerated by this guy. You missed opportunity here. Okay, so who is he the patron of? The children of Gaia of all tribes. Lubot is the great bystander. He will do nothing. He is content with staying in Saturn forever. What is this wall of text you sent me?
Oh, that's from Under a Blood Red Moon.
We got to put that in the description. But what Lubot does, he will not touch Gaia. He will just stay off in Saturn. He wants to be in Saturn forever. And you can go to him. He loves it if you visit him. He wants visitors. He wants you to come to him. He will tell you anything you need to know. He'll help you with your problems. He'll give you the guidance, tell you how to help yourself. But will he directly intervene with anything? No. So, yeah, the abstainer. That's what he is. He is the great abstainer. He's got this giant council hall in the middle of the rings of Saturn that you can go to, and you can have this giant debate with Lubot, and he will always win. He'll always tell you what you're doing wrong. And doing so, you feel like you grow as a person because he tells you what you're doing wrong, and you stop doing it. So he's a great teacher at the end of the day. Now, what does he do for you mechanically? Lubot grants an understanding of riddles and the hearts of others. His children make all Enigma, Empathy, and Occult rules at less than 2 difficulty. The Peaceful Counselor also grants each of his children an additional point of Perception and 2 points of Temporary Wisdom. The ban: children of Lubot are not allowed to act hastily. His packs must always have a backup plan for any major endeavor they go into. Now, the last thing to really talk about this guy with, there's not really that much to talk about with this dude, is the realm itself. Saturn, the gas giant itself, is not the realm that he resides in. That's just a giant storm like Jupiter. Instead, the rings of Saturn is where this guy hangs out. You want to ride the rings of Saturn because it's this gigantic ring of ice and stone that you can like snowboard down on her talons.
Dust.
Yeah, all that dust too. And you get to hop across the rings of Saturn. It's like this. It's like a mobile game Endless Runner when you go into the rings of Saturn. And you gotta chase after Lubot and all of his other spirits in order to get his favor. You have to walk while you talk with Lubot when you're in his realm until you get into the debate stage with him. So the rings of Saturn themselves, that is set up to be one of the most impressive parts of your game, because chasing after Lubot in the rings of Saturn, that's going to be one of those things that your players will never forget. The sheer atmosphere behind that. And that's it, really. That's all there really is to talk about with Lubot. You want to talk about Ruatma next? Because I got a lot of stuff I want to say about Ruatma. Got a lot of stuff.
Let's do it.
See there. So there she is. How good of a person do you think she is?
Yeah, I think she's a great
Not a single bit.
That looks like worm stuff when you look at her.
Yes.
She looks wormish. And maybe she kind of is, because she is the patron spirit of the Shadow Lords. Behold, this is Grandfather Thunder's Nana. This is who Ruatma is. She is Grandfather Thunder's nanny. And
she's gonna smack Thunder and the Shadow Lords with a ruler.
And her entire shtick is secrets. She keeps everything secret, even her identity. Nobody knows what's under the hood. Nobody knows what she looks like. In fact, she changes around her sex when you first meet her. She'll tell you she's a dude and talk in a man's voice if you contact her. But if you have a Shadow Lord in the party, she will tell the Shadow Lord that she's actually a woman, and then will change her voice to fit that. And it's all because of the secrets. She will only give this occult information, the deep secrets of the universe, to those that she feels are deserving of this information. But the thing is, if you come into contact with Ruatma, you're waiting for a life in prison. Her entire realm is on the planet of Uranus. And to reach
Uranus.
her... Yeah, Uranus, sorry.
You don't want to make the joke here.
You have to swim through this gigantic ocean, where after you dive through the gas giant body and dive into this ocean, the ocean itself is 150 degrees below freezing Fahrenheit. That fucking cold. So if you survive that, and you have the air to last you a 4-day swim to the bottom of the ocean, you will be greeted with a cavern system that you then jump into, and you can finally breathe in air for the first time. Where does this air come from? I don't know. But you go through this cave system that's this gigantic maze until you eventually reach Ruatma in this gigantic chamber. And she will tell you the secrets of the universe. But the minute you try to leave, she will grab you, throw you in a prison cell, and then will start torturing you while you're in this prison cell. You are not allowed to leave until you are fully indoctrinated into the ways of Ruatma, and you swear eternal loyalty, not to Gaia, not to the Triad, not to Luna, but to her. You need to be her servant, and you need to have your mind be broken to the point where you will only ever serve her before she will let you go. Fantastic, right? Me and Ed were talking before the episode started about the Odyssey, where it sounds like Calypso, where I'm here to rest. I'm here to rest for a day before I go back to see my wife. Nope, I'm thrown in prison for 10 years.
Calypso wanted that guy for her own husband.
Yep, and then his own devotion to his wife is what eventually set him free. But yeah, this is what Ratma will do to you. She will throw you in, and then she'll just torture you however she wants until you eventually side with her and only her. If you say, I'll do what you want on day one, she won't believe you. And you have no idea how much time is passing because the sunlight doesn't reach her realm. You're in an underwater cave. You have no idea how much time is passing. Your mind will be broken by the time you leave Ruatma. Do not talk to this woman. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. And there's somebody out there that would love to talk with her. The Cryptics of Demon the Fallen. They would love to know about her existence and would love to get into contact with her. And there's this whole mystery to Ruatma. What does she know that she needs to break you in order to tell you? why does she know about the universe? You know, because you have the Silver Fangs with the secret of death and the secret of Gaia. What can beat both of those? And what she do for you as a totem? Surprise, you can't make her a totem. She refuses to take totems. She's the only Celestine that does that. You will never, ever get her as a totem. But she will give you a short-term benefit, like a secret or this super strong fetish that she built herself. Something like that. And that's it. That's where the information stops. We have nothing else about her. Alright. Let's talk about Chantara next. Let's talk about Chantara. You want to talk about Neptune? You want to talk about King Neptune?
Always.
Because, surprise, Neptune is actually a woman. That's what she looks like. Squid woman. She's got squid legs. She's got 4 arms. She's got magic coming out of her hands. She's got horns. She's got big boobs. What's not to like about her? And she's waiting for you. She's waiting for you in her realm that is a gigantic ocean, which is really cool because she's got these gigantic cities built beneath the ocean, and she's waiting for people to visit her. So she then reaches underneath the water, grabs the city, and then pulls it up to the surface for you to stand on. It's an entire realm that is Sicily. the city of Sicily. And I'm trying to think, there is... You remember the end of BioShock Infinite where you're walking through the lighthouses and the planks are building themselves out of the water? That's what it looks like when you're in her realm. And you get to have a whole BioShock adventure if you go to her realm, because she is super aligned with the Weaver. She is fully on board. She is Team Weaver. She likes the Weaver, but she wants the Weaver to cut her bullshit out. She wishes the Weaver would go back to the way she was before she made Queen Ananasa. So she's like Queen Ananasa if anyone else could talk to her. And I don't think Queen Ananasa really wants to see the Weaver be redeemed. She wants nothing to do with the Weaver anymore. Chantara wants the Weaver to go back to being balanced. That's what she wants. And what does she have for you? Everything that can be invented. We want to talk about Atlantis. Atlantis was modeled after Chantara's realm. All the technology you can think of, all the magic shit you can think of, it's here. It's under the city. She's willing to show it to you. She's going to say, hey, guess what's going to be invented in 20 years? And she's going to pull it out of the ocean and show it to you. She's got all this stuff beneath the ocean that she would love to share with you. You just got to reach Neptune first. Sounds great, right?
That's got to be a good one.
And guess what? Guess what pack she sides with the most?
The ones with glass walkers.
Glass walkers, exactly. She loves the glass walkers, dude. She would be delighted to talk to the glass walkers.
Would she be delighted to have them build a city in her realm?
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
So I think we just found the evacuation plan. If Gaia falls, the glass walkers should take them and all their kinfolk to her realm.
To Neptune, and you will build the city of Rapture beneath Neptune.
Basically.
That's what it's going to look like. And then you can have BioShock in your game. All right, let's see what she can do for you as a totem. Chantara encourages her children to be creative and inventive. The pack receives 2 extra dice on repair, craft, and computer rolls. Furthermore, Glassworker gifts cost 1 less experience point to learn for Chantara's children. Finally, each of Chantara's children gains 1 extra die to any and all swimming rolls, or any rolls made to navigate weaver webs. So navigating the gauntlet is easier if you take her as your totem. Background cost 8, dude. That's a lot of stuff you get. That's really good. Why Glassworker gifts exist? I don't know. Plug and play, control simple machine, travel through phone lines.
Diagnostics, trick shot.
And the Glassworkers are only going to get more and more powerful gifts as the years go on. So it looks like Chantara might be someone that's worth getting in bed with. I don't know. It looks like this is a good deal. So think about this. Think about this cleft reed. You have all these bone armor gifts, but if you're going for a gun build, learning a few Glassworker gifts might be to your benefit.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah. Would you like to drive your truck by just sticking your finger in the cigarette charger?
Yes.
There. All right, and the ban. The Loom Maker, which is what she's known as, charges her children to heal rather than harm when dealing with the Weaver. She often gives her packs dangerous quests to cut worm influence away from the webs, meaning that you are forbidden from fighting a drone if you take her as your totem. Or any mage that's directly allied with the Weaver.
Mm.
Yeah. You're not supposed to hurt the Weaver. You're supposed to tell the Weaver she's doing things wrong and show her alternatives as to what she should be doing.
I think there's an implied exception when you're doing short-term harm for long-term benefits.
Yeah.
Like, you have to cut out a mole that turned cancerous before it turns into a fast-spreading skin cancer.
Yes.
At that point, you can't avoid cutting away some healthy flesh, but you have to save the entirety of the body.
You see this development plan for cloning with DNA. You want to run in to tell DNA, oh no, stop making that bioweapon to kill the Geru. You're going to ruin everything and do it. Instead, make this disease, and then you can help DNA be, I don't know, not a force of the apocalypse.
Yep.
And let's see what else we got. We only got one more dude to talk about. We got one more guy. And he's got the least amount of information on him. We get to talk about Meos. You want to talk about Anubis? Because that's basically what Meos is.
That's what it looks like, too.
That's basically him. But it's Anubis in space is what he is. He doesn't have a shadow realm. Pluto is his realm, and the entirety of Pluto is covered in wild spirits that are doing whatever they want. Meos does not care. Just send the wild in. The wild spirits can do whatever they want. He's okay with it. And Pluto is a tiny planet, so a lot of changes going on with Pluto at the same time. The board is constantly getting swept away and then rebuilt with all these wild spirits around here. What does Meos do? Nothing. He is going off and exploring other solar systems and other galaxies. He will leave Pluto behind, and the planet will go centuries without him. And he will go off into other planes where time will compress or contract wherever he is, and he will just go off and explore space out there. He's doing what the Void Engineers are doing. The Void Engineers would love to find this guy and get his maps of the galaxy. Because if you think space is going to be hard to navigate, wait until you get into the Space Umbra and just how confusing that's going to be. Well,
Glasswalker Umbral pilots would also have an interest in him.
See, what was the question, Archie?
How many Umbras are there?
You have the Umbra is just the spirit plane, and it is a realm that's so massive the brain cannot comprehend it.
Have you ever cut open an onion?
Like that.
Yes, and not only that, there's multiple shoots within onions sometimes. So it's not even just concentric layers. There might be two different or more spheres, each with their own layers that then converge on the outermost.
Because the Umbra, there's a reason why the Geru are still mapping this place out, even though they've existed for 10,000 years. Because the Umbra is just that big in size.
Yep. And changing, too.
Yeah. In our games, you've only ever seen the near Umbra. We haven't gone into the deep and dark Umbra yet. And also, you might be remembering, didn't we talk about in the Get Fenris episode, Fenrir going to space to try to find Wotan? Meos was with him while he was doing that. So just imagine being in that story where you have a chronicle where you are with Fenrir and Meos traveling between planets. Just how fucking cool that would be for a chronicle.
Oh my Dragon Ball GT.
You get the Dragon Ball GT campaign. You know what? While Kyle runs Rage Across the Amazon after we finish our next couple of games, I will run Rage Across Heavens, and that's going to be the story. You're with Fenrir and you're with Meos traveling between planets. Let's talk about what this does. Background cost 7. Children of Meos find it easier to navigate the Dark Umbra. Each one gains -1 difficulty to any dice roll involving the land of the dead or its inhabitants. They cannot lose their way, and can find their way to any given destination at any time. The pack gains 3 dice to Enigma and Occult rolls, and each pack member gains 2 points of temporary wisdom. Deban, Meos expects his children to travel, often to broaden their minds. Pax of Meos must spend 4 months out of the year, quote unquote, on the road.
Sounds like Silent Striders.
Exactly. Yeah, it's with Space Anubis. Yeah, absolutely, it's Silent Striders. And behold, that's the big list of celestials. Now let's talk about the months. You want to talk about the lunar year of werewolves because they have their own calendar. As it turns out, you've been doing your own date systems wrong. You need to be going off of these months instead. Now, when does Aries start? Aries horoscope date. The werewolf new year is March 21st. Wrap your head around that one. And we get to go through every month, one at a time. Let's begin. What month do you think is first?
January.
It is not March. All right. So with all of these, let me get my notes back up. The first month of the year, according to werewolves, is Narol. The man on Mars gets his month first. What is this? How do you celebrate the new year? With war. That's what you gotta do. You gotta go to war for the new year. You go out, you psych yourself up. You think to yourself, oh, what am I going to do this new year? Whose ass am I going to kick? Whose ass am I going to fuck up this time? And that's how you get yourself psyched up. My New Year's resolution is I'm going to kick some ass. And I'm going to do it for Gaia. And that's what happens during this time. From the late end of March to mid-April is when this spans for. It spans for the entire zodiac correspondence of Aries. And during this time, everyone is just a little bit manic. Everybody's a little mad. The Aruns are especially angry during this time, and they want to get into combat. The Theurgists are making these combat prayers, praying to Narol or their totems for the strength to kill people. That's what you're getting around this time. Everybody's on full corn mode this entire time. You psyched up yet? Because, right? What is the second month? The second month is the entirety of Taurus. It is Asara's month, where, yeah, it's Gaia, and she only gets 1 month dedicated to herself in the entire lunar year. Where you begin your April month, your April lunar year, with Asara, where instead of being super angry, you instead chill out for a minute. And you think to yourself, what is my mission? Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting psyched up? You remember the woman who made you is Gaia, and she commissioned the wild to make you. And you put yourself back into perspective of the war. You're doing this for Gaia. You're doing this for her. If she's still alive, you can save her. If she's dead, you're going to avenge her. That's what this month is dedicated for. It is Gaia Awareness Month. Is what this is. Instead of wearing a pink ribbon, you just wear a green ribbon. Is that how it works? All right.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
See, what's next?
Gaia on
it. For the entirety of Gemini, we have month 3, Meanu, Bonar month. You ready for this? Where this is a month where it's time to tell jokes. It's time to get a little wild. It's time to act like a Nuisha. You want to tell jokes? You want to question people? This is the month to be a Socrates, to question stuff, to think about stuff, to mock stuff. If it can be mocked, there's something wrong with it, and there's a way you can improve it. It is the month of humor. It's comedy month down at the comedy store. This is the month of the stand-up comedian, and this is where your Galliards are coming up with their best jokes and best stories, and are over at doing the werewolf stand-up and getting the entire crowd laughing. Even the Red Talons will laugh.
So, about that airplane food.
And it's a fun time. Just everybody's happier than usual during the month of Meanu. And then we have the month of Saka, the 4th month, which goes for the entirety of Cancer. Now, this is a time of introspection. It's kind of mythological to believe that the moon is a giant mirror, and it kind of is, because it reflects sunlight. So this is a time of deep reflection. You want to look inside yourself and think, well, what am I doing? What are my positive aspects? What am I doing right? And you want to think about that. And you want to look at your best qualities. You want to meditate. You want to think, what am I doing right? And how can I do that even better? You want to become an ideal self when you're when you're thinking about Saka. It is the stargazers' favorite time of the year, where they're doing what they were already doing, meditating, but they're meditating even deeper. And this is a very spiritual, introspective month. We'll get another one in 2 months, but next we talk about month 5, Kantaka Sanak, which goes on for the entirety of Leo, where this is a month where, once again, everybody's super manic and the sun is burning even hotter than usual. It is giving you this divine energy. It's psyching you up. It's getting you energized. This is the month where shit can get done. You can go out there, you can solve that today. You can start that gym membership. You can go out there, you can punch that guy in the face. You can whip your dick out in public and helicopter it around, and you'll be able to escape the cops in time. And the Wendigo, this is their time to build that ice fortress. You got a fortress that needs to be built in the Umbra. Time to go out there and build it. You gotta go out there, you gotta get it built, you got the energy for it. You can do this, Everybody's high energy, high energy, high energy. And then we stop at month 6, where we've got Hakah. The entirety of Virgo is dedicated to another month of introspection. You think about what you did during the 5th month, and you think, well, what did I do wrong? Was there anything that I could have done better this year? And you think about that. Where Hakah will burn a little bit of his kiln flame and get you to think about it. And you want to think about the bad parts about yourself, not to stew on it, not to dwell upon the dark aspects of yourself, but you need to identify it and you need to burn that out of you during this month. What are you doing that is holding you back? What is causing despair within you? What's preventing you from being where you need to be? This is the month where you identify that, and you need to think about, how can I change that today? That's what you want to do with Hakah. And I kind of like that. Hakah, out of all these guys, is probably my least favorite, but I like that part about him, where that's what his month is about. Because, there was a time in my life where I really needed what Hakah was selling. Next up, what is the 6th month called? Tambia, the 7th lunar month. This goes on for the entirety of Libra. And just like Libra, it's all about balance. You want to be balanced. You want what the Black Furies have, where they want the balance. We're the ideal woman, looking for an ideal man to come from outer space to serve us, that being the wild. And with Tambia, it's the day to focus on the triad. And what can you do to balance it? Where is the triad going wrong in your life? And how can you fix that? Typically, it's the worm that's doing something wrong, but sometimes it's the wild or the weaver. It's what is the wild or the weaver doing wrong awareness month? And you got to think, how can I balance myself? Now that I've burnt all that stuff out of me during Hakah, how can I bring myself back into alignment? And that's what you're doing during this month. It is a month where everything evens out within you. If you need to heal during this month, this is a month of healing, where you need to take a look inside yourself, take a moment to think of just spirituality, love, and trust, and get yourself back together. Look at the inner woman inside of you, the lesbian inside of you, and use that to repair yourself on a spiritual level. What is month 8? Meos. The 8th lunar month goes on for the entirety of Scorpio. And what is this? Well, Meos was a more transient kind of deity. So what's he about? The truth. This is a month of sleuthing. This is information awareness month. You want to go out, you want to see what's a lie in your life. You want to find out what kind of wool is being held over your eyes. What lies are being told to you, and what lies are you telling to yourself? Because now is the time to go out and seek the truth. You've got the Theurges and the Feldoxes and the Aruns. They're going up on Spirit Quest. If there was a time to do an investigation, now's the time to do it. If there's a time to look at what's waiting for us, the mystery of death in our life, this is also a time to do it. This is a month where, if you've got something like Dias de los Muertos, this is where you want to celebrate that as a werewolf. You think about death, you think about what has died in your life, you go out there, you make peace with it. This is a time for you to remember that you are mortal, You might reincarnate, but you might not remember your life unless you put points in ancestors. Your time on this earth is finite because you're up against the eternal threat of the worm, and that battle will never die. You will eventually lose to the worm, but you can do your best to ensure that that more people will get to live. Sure, we're all going to die someday, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't live. We shouldn't make an effort to be alive. And that's what the Day of Meos is. It is a time to remember you are mortal. You need to get done what you need to get done. And we get to lift a little weight off our shoulders with the 9th month, Sagittarius, Zorak. The fun guy, Zeus Dagda Freyday. This is a party month. You know all that sadness? We've had a few sad months lately. We've been doing a lot of heavy thinking lately. Let's let loose. Let's have the entirety of the Sagittarius lunar month be dedicated to just letting loose, letting that inner party god out of you, and just flex what you can do. You got power. You've got a power inside of you. You got to let that power out. You got to show people what you can do. You want to be a leader? Well, now it's time to be a leadership. Now it's time to go and show that you should be an alpha the next time that a pack is being formed. That you can do this. You can go this. It's time to strut your stuff, Peacock. Now's the time to go out there. You are a badass. Prove that you're a badass. Let people know just how good of a guy you are. This is a month where you want to go out. You want to be extroverted. You want to talk to people. You want to let people know who you are on the inside. Is a time for you to share who you are. The Galliards are doing their best rock concerts. The Theurgists are going out doing ministry. The Ragabashes are pulling off some of their best pranks until Meanu comes around. They'll outdo themselves during Meanu. But it is a very happy month, or it's supposed to be. 10th month, Lubot, which goes on for the entirety of Capricorn. The 10th month, it is another inward journey to yourself. Away from the excess of the world. You want to get away from the material during this time. You want to go in and you want to think about, well, what's spiritual? What is eternal? I'm going to die someday, sure. But what's some sort of eternal truth? What's some sort of wisdom that I can cling on to? What's an undeniable thing about the world that I can go into? This is like the theological, spiritual month. This is the month of scholars, so to speak. Where if you want to make the pilgrimage to Lubot, he's more than willing to listen to you. You want to go over there, you want to have a debate with him, you want to find out what's true, what's spiritual, what's wise. This is the time to speak to Lubot. And, well, that's it, really. There's not that much to speak about with this month. This is the one that requires the least amount of explanation. There's not that much to Lubot, actually. All right, month 11, Ratma. The shadowy month that goes on for the entirety of Aquarius. You once again turn to secrets, but this time it's like a dark month. This isn't a month about discovering the truth behind secrets. This is a month about keeping secrets. What's something about you that nobody should know? What's something that you need to keep inside of you? What's something that only you should know? That's what Ratma's about. Sure, this is a month that could be deeply associated with treachery. This is a month where you can be very evil, but you can also be diplomatic and strategic during this time. This is the month for you to get your Black Ops operation off the ground. If you are a Ragabash or a Shadow Lord that's launching some sort of stinger operation against the Black Spirals or any other force, this is the month to do it. Ratma is watching you, and she's going to benefit you with secrecy. You will get that mission done. You'll get that Black Ops mission done. The enemy will never know you're there during this time. It is the time to set off your dark, seedy, necessary evil shit. The time to look at the inner darkness within you and accept that you can be capable of evil. You just have to be at peace with the evil inside of you. And then we end the year with Chantara, which goes on for the entirety of Pisces, where, well, what kind of month is this? Creation and invention. If you got something to build, now's the time to build it. You want to build stuff and get ready for the next year. You want to get your stuff ready for the new year. Because the new year has got to have new stuff for it. So with Chantara giving you a little blessing, you get that muse whispering in your ear the entire time. And you're going to build that house, going to build that new weapon, going to make a gun that can work in the Umbra, and you can step sideways with it. This is the time to make a fetish if you're going to make anything. It's a time to build and bolster the cairn if you're going to do anything. And
this is where the first city as a glasswalker.
Yeah, this is where the glassworkers are the most creative, because you will see a glassworker go into a creative frenzy during this time. They will lock their doors in their studios and they will never leave. They will just crank out stuff during that time.
They'll make things like the A-10 Warthog, which isn't a gun strapped to a plane. It's a gun with wings strapped to it.
They'll be glued to their computers, going days without eat or sleep, programming stuff and creating new code to fight Pentex with. Just creative frenzy is what you go into. And then the 13th month. Wait, hold on, man. There's no 13th month. That's stupid. There's no month 13. Well, not anymore. There used to be 13 months in the year, but now there's not, because, I don't know, Roor blew up. And now we just have like a weird, like, floaty period where, well, to the Red Talons, this is every day. But I guess there's just a point in the year where you can just turn to Roor and just let the inner beast come out of you. Roor is a period of darkness within you. You let that monster within you begin to stew, and you want to go out. And this is murder day when you think about Roor. You want to go out. You want to fight. You want to hunt. You want to kill something when you think about Roor during this day. There's a reason why you only want to do this once a day, because you might become a little overzealous, like the Red Talons, if you focus too much on Roor. And yeah, every day's Impergium Day. Go nuts. And that's the year. And then we start the whole thing all over again with you could say it, Narol. And that's your year. That's your horoscope of the day. What I do like in this book is that on page, what was this in the book? Page 74 of the book, they, helpful for your players, mapped out what 1998 to 1999 and then 1999 to 2000 would look like for this lunar year. So yeah, just follow your horoscope if you want to follow this. And this isn't something you need to do when you make a game for Werewolf the Apocalypse, because you don't need a Silverfang or a Shadow Lords referring to these months as such. But if you want to give the Gaia Nation more of its own culture, this is what you do with it. And did we have holidays during this time? Yes, you remember the Fianna holidays, right?
No.
Yep. You don't remember the Fianna holidays?
Nope, because they're Fianna. They're too busy getting drunk and getting everyone else drunk with them.
You have not been invited to the Oktoberfest, I see. Well, you have holidays like Beltane, Imbolc, Lunasa, and Samhain with the Fianna. They have holidays between them. And of course you have Hippy Dippy Day with the Children of Gaia, which is every day. And sure, every individual tribe has a dedicated holiday that they'll have. Every tribe has their own little different day. I think this is true, but I'm kind of it's slipping my mind. I can't pull up a source for it. I swear the Get of Fenris has a day dedicated to Fenrir, where it's like Fenrir's birthday. But I think that's a thing, or that's a thing that my mind is just making up for me. But
I think you are right. I think there is a day.
Well, that's something that the Fenrir would do. You get to celebrate your spiritual grandfather's birthday. That's something they would do.
Yeah.
And there we go. And is there anything else to talk about in this book? I have a few more notes. The Perfect Metis? Yes, I will take a break from talking for a minute. You tell us what this Metis is.
It's a child of two Metis.
And how's it possible?
Not only faith, who knows, supernatural meddling, whatever. Basically causes the red star, the eye of the worm, to materialize in the material world. Well, technically it materializes in the Umbra first, then the material world. And basically, we're going into the adventure module. Two Metis fuck. One of them gets pregnant, and they birth a perfect Metis. Literally perfect. Well, not necessarily. The entire story module is about different factions of each like sub faction, I should say. So Black Spiral Dancers have a camp that believe it's the Dark Messiah. The other ones think it's the resurrection of Christ, basically, in Gyru form, and want to kill him. Then you have the exact same with the Gyru. Then you have, like, Pentex getting involved. Then you have the... What's the name? That Society of Shadow Lords and, like, the Sombras that want to mother out the sun. They want the kid because they think he has some control over the Helios, which is the red star, the eye of the worm. They think it's going to provide bare minimum sunlight needed for life to survive on Earth, but otherwise plunge the planet into darkness. Honestly, there's just a lot here, but it's kind of scattered like the rest of the book.
I see.
I actually like the art for it. You just have a giant Rhino's hand paw with the Metis in it, and it looks so cute.
That kid is now 24 years old in the events of your games. And question, did the Croton, the Bunyip, and the White Howlers have a month? They did, but the Croton and Bunyip both turned down the idea. The Bunyip because they had nothing to do with the Gaia Nation and never got an invite. The Croton had the option to get a month, but they turned it down because that's just not their style. The Croton just live off of what they need. They don't want to live in anything like excess or flashiness. They don't believe in... They think they would see it as vain to have that. So they just didn't go along with it. And the White Howlers, they had Roor as their month. There was a 13th month in existence, but with Roor blowing up, that month stopped existing, and then you could say on a cosmic level, the detonation of Turog is what led to the White Howlers becoming the Black Spiral Dancers. It was destined on the cosmic level because of that. So, who's to say if a planet blows up, we will see an entire tribe disappear next? I mean, what's the application with Zorak falling to the worm? If that happened, the entirety of the Silver Fangs would fall into the worm that day too.
Maybe.
And they would have become the Burning Crown.
It's quite smarty.
And I think we have a few things to look at and smile, because you can't necessarily blow up the sun. The sun will just supernova and then it will still exist. And the moon
Sounds like fun.
Well, the moon can get destroyed because that happens in Ragnarok, but I think the existence of the Fianna and the Wendigo is secured in this, because the Fianna will only die if the world dies. That's the only way that's going to happen. So the Fianna, it kind of shows that their existence is secure. The Fianna will be the last tribe to die in the face of the apocalypse. And the Wendigo, well, you can't destroy the sun, so behold, none of it will stand. And the Pure Lands will become pure again. So don't worry, you two tribes, you'll be fine. Everyone else, though, has to worry.
I think the Glasswalkers will live. They'll just go into space.
Yeah, that's how it will happen. We'll exile you from the Gaia Nation. You'll go off into space. You'll have a little Mars base with Elon Musk.
Nah, they're gonna... Damn it, I forgot the Celestine. They're going to be the one with the...
Chantara.
Yeah, they're going to be with Chantara in the Umbral Realms with all their humans.
Now, question. Do any of the fair breeds also venerate these guys? We are looking at page 76. Well, I'll go over it bit by bit with you. The Ananasi. No. Not really. They don't.
I figured that one.
They don't really play around with this whole horoscope stuff. They don't really care about stuff like birthdays or anything like that. They got a job to do with Queen Ananasa. We gotta work. We're workaholics. We're more focused on the trash rather than Celestines. So yeah, we don't play around with that. The Bastet, yes, they have their own names for the Celestials. Let me try to get this organized in order of the planets. Where's Mercury? They call them in order: Jurima, Sabal. Where is well Gaia is Gaia. Aknet, Deva, Pa, Sika, Liao, and Kwa is what they named the planets in order. They don't include Vulcan or Rourke because they get no power from either of those. But yes, they too worship the Celestines. I guess their year only has, was it 8 or 9 months instead. Show me what a Boston calendar would look like.
Something Aztec/Incas.
Yeah, the Roman Empire before they added well not even that. What would be the Roman Empire was less than 2 how about I'm trying to wrap my brain as to what this would look like. I can't imagine a calendar without 12 months on it.
Maybe the Napoleon calendar or timekeeping system.
Let's see. The Koraks. Yes, they also acknowledge the Celestines, but they only ever really kiss up to Kantanka Sonak. Because after all, they are Helios's baby. They have to keep siding with Helios in order to get the sun to burn. Though they do have a few other months that they'll acknowledge, like Meanu. They're happy whenever Meanu is around because part of Gemini, they look at the birds of Hunan and Moonin, who are instrumental in taking down Odin, and we'll have that be Hunan and Moonin month. We managed to sucker Odin into thinking we were on his side. And so you have an entire month where they'll celebrate Meanu, and that will be the month where they celebrate their greatest achievements, and then they'll just wait for next year to come around. They're also very happy when it's Kantaka Sanak month, where that's when they're doing their best to worship and appease Helios. You have them locked inside their Church of the Sun all day, doing the praise to the sun emote. Who's next? The Gural. Not really. They're more focused on the stars than anything else. The Gural will pray to the stars in times of need. And when the month of Ashtara comes around, they're happy about that. Because Gaia is their mommy. The girl are in diapers with little pacifiers and rattles and bonnets. And they're happy whenever it's their mommy's month. And they'll worship the month of Ashtara. But everything else, they don't care about the other planets. The Kitsune. Yeah, they're into astrology because after all, this is East Asia. Of course they're all about astrology. They're not super into it though, like the other ones though. They are looking at some of these celestials and trying to figure out how can we crack the codes of some of these. The Garu are getting all these different benefits from it. How can we get the same kind of benefit? Because they're looking at Ratma, and they're trying to think of a plan as to how can we get Ratma on our side in our mission to save Gaia and build up from the post-apocalypse. That's what they're thinking about. Let's see. The Macaulay only ever have 1 month they worry about, and that's Kantanka Sanak, and that's it. They don't really care about the other Celestines. The Naga. It looks like they have veneration for Hakah. They like that month. They like the whole burning the shadow within you, out of you kind of thing. They already do that every day, but they like that there's an entire month dedicated to that. The Noisha. See here. Sakta. No surprise to anybody, right? I mean, after all, Coyote moved in with Luna, and it's Luna's eternal roommate. So, of course, they would worship that month. They also like Meanu, because this is a month where you get to do all these pranks, get the Noisha infiltrating the Geru cairns and pretend to be werewolves, and getting the Black Furusi while they're inside the cairns.
Or stealing that Garu semen.
Yeah, exactly.
Making Koi Wolf changing breeds as guardians. Maybe even stealing the changing breed ancestor lines from Garu.
You
pessimistic.
You horny little bastards in Noisha. You only ever think about one thing, and that's sex. That's all they think about. Alright. The rats. You think that would be behind Rorg? No, because Rorg isn't exactly a month anymore. They don't care about this shit. They just care about what Rat has to say, because they're all about the Rat. They love Rat. And,
everyone knows the rats can't look at the sky because they have none. All they have is the concrete ceiling.
They will
tunnels.
They will pray to Polaris, the North Star itself, because they say that's not a Sun Strider totem. No, that's not a totem at all. That's just the eyeball of Rat looking down at us all. Okay, whatever you say, Ratkin. And the Rokea are seemingly atheistic. They don't really talk about the Celestines.
Well, to them, they consider the sun just one giant wound.
And that's
what,
it, because
what would that make the rest of the Celestine to them? More wounds? Tumors?
Like scratches on your skin. Let's see. And you've also got they put the Chinese Zodiac in here too, or the Chinese Zodiac. Ooh, we're excited about the Chinese Zodiac? Well, there's not really that much to talk about with this. It's it reads exactly like a horoscope section for a story. There's not really anything deep about this, and I didn't think there was anything that interesting about the Chinese Zodiac to begin with. So that's it. We covered the book.
That's it.
Well, all right. You thought you learned something from this?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, a lot.
I learned what an arid is.
That's going to be useful to know when you're going through some of these games in the future.
I'm kidding. I did learn.
All right. Now let me go down the line. Archie, out of all these Celestines, which one stuck out to you the most?
Out of all of them.
Out of all these guys. Of all the guys. See, do you want me to list them out just in case you need help remembering these?
I think the guy Thunder wants to be.
Zorak.
Yes, Zorak.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I really like that guy. He's, you know what? Theory. Is Bacchus Zorak? You could have that be a little theory in your game. Ryan, what do you think of that?
Yes, Bacchus is.
It's one of his many. It's one of his many faces. It's implied that Bacchus is way stronger than he's letting on.
Bacchus is not fat. He's just very fluffy.
Yeah.
I think Zorak got partially corrupted.
No, it's Zorak and his winter coat.
That's what he is. Is Zorak off season when he's not pumping iron?
I think Zorak got partially corrupted just a little bit.
We're now he's a little bit focused. You taught him the ways of entropy and death, and now he wants to talk about that with people.
Nah, he just smites people at random. That's the worm taint.
Well, he's got 85 wives that can help him out with that.
Yep.
All right. Adam, what about
I
you?
like the Glasswalker one.
Chantara.
Yep.
Get to build a city of rapture with that.
Literally the only one that'll let you evacuate to her in the event you lose Gaia.
Yeah. You got all these Glasswalkers that want to go to the moon. Now there's an entire ocean planet waiting for you. You just gotta find it. Gotta build a rocket ship. Gotta build a rocket ship to Neptune, and then step sideways once you're inside of Neptune.
I can totally see the Glasswalkers just opening a whole bunch of moon bridges and funneling all of humanity off Earth to our plane.
The Glasswalker space program, where we will build an ark off the planet.
Nah, they just funnel people onto moon bridges.
There it is. We're going to take you to Mars, and then we're going to take you to Jupiter, and then Saturn, and then we'll finally reach Uranus, and then Neptune.
Yep.
All right. Ryan, what about you?
Meanu.
Meanu. Because the Bonars have wormed their way into your heart, right?
Yes. Well, that and I just like the way he has the ability to not change anything, but he's like, you know what? For the lulz, I'm going to change everything about myself and my place of business.
Yeah, he's a Twitter troll that's trying to help you out.
Yeah. Like I said, I would love dealing with him, but I would hate dealing with him as a player.
You would love him and you'd hate him at the same time.
Yeah.
You have to go through it. I think the man's house alone could be a setting for a game. Or just how much it changes. Where you could probably have a full 5 or 6 session game that's just in Meanu's house.
It just his realm alone. Because first you have to trek across the ashen lanes that turn you to ash potentially.
Yes.
And then just his house.
You know what? I'm getting ideas from this. I think I just might make Rage Cross Heaven an anthology game instead. I might just do that. Because there's so much stuff you can do with this book. Like you see this. You see just how cool this is. Because with with other books that we've read, like Rage Across the Amazon and Rage Across New York, we were getting ideas for games off of this. With this, it is such a open slate that's dealing with space in a spirit realm and the Umbra. You can do whatever you want with this book on multiple planets. You want to have an entire game that takes place on Narol with the eternal war on that? You want to have the John Connor werewolf game? You can do that with entire civilizations of living, breathing star people and a giant war like that. This book has got so much cool stuff in it, dog.
It helps. It says that you don't actually need to breathe in the ethereal realm in general. So that massively opens things up.
Given that the realm itself is just filled with magic and life.
Yep.
When you step in there. And there you have it. So
what happens if you try stepping sideways out of it?
Well, you'll suffocate in space. That's what's going to happen to you.
Better have those space marine suits then from StarCraft.
I'm in space. Let me take my helmet off. I need to get some fresh air.
I need to take my helmet off. This suit's too stuffy.
My eyes will be sucked out their sockets. And there we have it. Anything else we can think about talking about with Rich Girl 7?
More about the Perfect Metis.
The Perfect Metis. Do you think the Perfect Metis is going to kill Sol?
Depends if he gets corrupted or not.
Because who is the baby daddy and the baby mama with the Perfect Metis?
The joke I had planned is that Tyler Bastet and BSD got together one day.
It was Tyler Bassett, and he paired up with Cavortz Blood, the villain from our Hunter game, and they made the Perfect Metis.
And now that Perfect Metis is making a generation or two of fertile Black Spiral Dancer Metis.
It is a Fianna and a direct descendant of the White Howlers. And that's what makes it.
Yeah, maybe. The book is actually pretty open-ended.
Then
this
book
born in Appalachia.
It's going to be Clef Reed. This book is going to end with Clef Reed being the baby daddy for the fucking Perfect Metis.
But this book just leads directly into Apocalypse. Like you have to understand the Perfect Metis kind of as a concept because it literally plays into all the Apocalypse scenarios in Apocalypse.
It's like the Thin Bloods with Vampire the Masquerade. You're not supposed to have Thin Bloods on the planet because that's an end time sign. Yep. And when the Perfect Metis is born, where there is nothing wrong with him and he's just good at everything, born from two Metis parents that, through the curse that Gaia placed on them, should not be able to do this. Do it anyway, and now you have this.
I think the book explicitly mentions like Metis think they can get away with having sex with each other just for fun because they can't get pregnant and no one will find out they're doing it because there's no evidence. And the book, I think when I read it 5 years ago, said, "Oh, pop this as a surprise on players that think they can do that."
You gotta have that abortion clave ready in that case because you are about to end the world with that child,
or save it.
Yeah, and think about that. The nature of what tribe birds the Perfect Metis is going to change what the Perfect Metis is going to be. Because I'm thinking, if the Perfect Metis was born with Black Fury parents, and behold, the Black Fury Manifesto will be made manifest with the Black Furies. But also like the children of Gaia, and just what a hippie the Perfect Metis is going to turn into, with all of these children of Gaia kissing out to it, saying, "Oh, you're going to be such a great thing, going to be such a great thing." Just what an entitled bitch the Perfect Metis will turn into.
Well, also depends if what various factions war over him. For example, in the book it says Pentax has a team of corrupted Gyro kinfolk that want to experiment on him for breeding purposes, or her. But then there's the Apocalypse scenarios, and one of them is Perfect Metis gets literally possessed by an avatar of the worm, dances Black Pharaoh with Zijak, and literally emerges with her like a couple hours later, and she's like 9 months pregnant with an entire litter.
She merges with them and then is killed by Jonas Albrecht.
No, she doesn't merge, but I think in that scenario she doesn't kill Albrecht, because I think that's the Weaver Ascendant one where he gets her pregnant.
Yeah. I love you, Jonas. And
wait. Headcanon. Perfect Metis is the grandchild of Albrecht and Murray.
Mhm.
They got it on, had a Metis, that Metis fucked someone else.
With I think there's two scenarios that I would really like to see the Perfect Metis be born under, and that is if he's born and raised by the Sunstriders, and if he's born and raised by the Actina.
You know what would be? Sorry, go ahead.
With the Sunstriders, that's going to be the most normal kid. That's somebody who's going to see the entire world. He's going to go by every different race and nationality of people, and he's going to see every culture. He's going to have this deep sense of empathy and a deep sense of duty, where he knows what he's responsible for, and he's going to have that embedded in his soul, like the codex of what the man that he's going to be is just written on his heart in a metaphorical sense. And he is going to be why am I forgetting the name of the protagonist from Dune? Paul Atreides. That kind of werewolf. I'd be very excited to see that. But with the Actina, you would have the dark messiah of might and magic. He is going to be the deepest of anti-heroes. Sure, he's going to save the Garo Nation. He's going to purify the Pure Lands. But he is going to be incredibly pragmatic as he does so. He's going to use some dark magic in his conquest of the Pure Lands. He will save the world in the most evilly heroic way possible.
You can make
also like
and have them fight each other.
I can think of some alternate scenarios.
Let's just call this metaphorical Metis pole.
I can see the Metis also being the result of outside forces or splats interfering. But just within the werewolf splat, there's black spiral dancers that might birth the perfect Metis. And he might be literally a pure-blooded white howler.
Yeah.
And
at this point, they're like, do we keep him alive to mock the white howlers and to draw Garu in? But at the same time, if they let him live, he's going to start breeding with all their females. Then suddenly you have a whole bunch of white howlers running around, serving the worm.
And if he escapes, and he restarts the white howler tribe, and that's the force that leads humanity and the werewolves into a new golden age. If that's how it turns out, and that's how the apocalypse is prevented.
Holy shit, just thought about this. Technically, weren't the black spiral dancers and the Crotan interacting for a little bit?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be possible they have a Crotan throwback in their ranks as well?
That's got Crotan ancestry, or the Crotan come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out there's a little bit of Crotan semen going around, or the Bunyip produced the Perfect Metis.
And then there's outer splats, and I'm thinking maybe some vicissitude or blood sorcery from some vampires that have a couple of pet werewolves.
How much weird male pregnancy shit is in the Zemichi books?
Honestly, I wouldn't know.
That comes up a lot, actually. Because that happened with who's Zemichi's high priest? I'm forgetting his name. It starts with a Y. He gets pregnant with Zemichi. Sasha Vikos gets pregnant. There's a whole bunch of pregnant men giving birth to their penises with the Zemichi. That's just what? Yeah, I'm not shitting you. That's a thing that comes up a bunch of their books. You got
I think
it's great in my mind.
You get crazier with the Perfect Metis. It turns out that Zemichi gets involved, and the Perfect Metis is born from a man.
Or most realistically, I think the progenitors might have been involved. They might have had to test tube Metis and mate it with each other.
The test tube baby with the DNA too.
Yep. So they just have something crazy, two Glasswalker Metis that are pure breed 5 each, and then they mate, and then they actually produce the Perfect Metis.
Or another mage guild. How about the Cult of Ecstasy? After they give them the super magic Viagra, and they use that, and then ends up making the Perfect Metis.
You know what's actually funny? I read Guardians of the Cairn. It explicitly states, because it's actually the Metis breed book as well.
Yes.
That there's nothing wrong with the physical organs and DNA of a Metis.
It's a curse.
Yes.
Yeah. So behold, the Cult of Ecstasy gives you the Viagra that lets you break the curse. And then behold, the Cult of Ecstasy, you don't realize what you just did.
You just suddenly made all the Gaia fertile.
Yep.
Impergium's back on in 100 years.
This video is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Jesus.
Take it from us, a bunch of guys in our 20s who don't need Viagra, but we're advertising it anyway.
How many Gaia do you think there would be in like 50 to 150 years if they were all fertile? Could just produce more and more metis.
But the Cult of Ecstasy, behold, they saved the entire Gaia nation. You need to talk to the sex wizards. There's nothing wrong with it. When we get into Mage, I'm going to be very happy talking about the Cult of Ecstasy. Them and the Order of Hermes, I'm going to be very happy talking about. What other Mage could help out with it? Dream Speakers, maybe? Maybe they can help because they have the keys to the Spirit Realm. Thanatos, no.
Generation X, maybe. Artificial reproductive organs.
You go with the literal Antichrist idea, where the perfect Metis isn't even born; he's built. And behold, you break the prophecy by doing that.
He's assembled.
You build a hit Mark 7 werewolf, and he is the perfect Metis.
That's actually one of the ideas I had.
Is that's a scary thought.
Make it so that the hit mark can convert other werewolves into hit marks as well.
He's got the Dr. Robotnik's robotization.
Nah, it's going to be like the Borg infection process from one of those Star Trek movies, the one where the Borg cube goes to Earth in like the past. They have to stop it. Just a Borg grab you and then put like 2 wires in you from their hand that inject you. Then you turn into one of them.
Yeah, just how freaky that. I love that villain from Star Trek. That was such a good idea.
He actually comes back at the end of Picard, the final season.
See, can we get a Wraith involved in making the perfect Metis? Can we go? See,
technically with puppetry, possibly they just possess both the Metis. Think it's a free fuck.
Recombinant. Complicate it by giving the perfect Metis 2 daddies.
or 2 daddies and 2 mommies.
2 moms. Behold, I have 4 different parents.
Yep. Or if you want to go more literally, there's a subtree of puppetry with, I think it's called the medical arts, and you can actually control the biological functions of the people you control.
And there you go. You make the perfect Metis through possessing the werewolves.
Yep.
And Changeling, I don't think there's anything Changeling related that can really help out with this. Maybe if you're in the Satyr realm, that will get you horny enough to make the perfect Metis. And I want to say there's some sort of like demon to fallen connection, but I can't put it together right now.
Perfect Metis is designed to be a host for a powerful demon made by a pact that to Metis sign that they'll eventually create a body for that demon in exchange for temporary power.
Or you get literal with the Antichrist connection. It turns out there was no Metis involved at all. Instead, it's a male Metis who mates with Lucifer. And that's how it gets born.
Oof.
Yeah. Is that, after all, Lucifer does have the man and woman parts. So it's possible. So, a lot of fun ways you can go along with this prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah, after all, you heard how many ideas we just made.
Right? In like the last, 20 minutes?
And then there's the ending for the Apocalypse novel, where the Perfect Metis was actually possessed the entire time, stole the Silver Crown, and then grew a giant fucking red eye that mind controls people, or hypnotizes them. And then he combined the powers of the Silver Crown with that eye and basically made all the Gaia basically commit suicide by just literally opening their backs to the enemy while they run away in panic.
There it is. I don't know, maybe the Silver Crown was a really bad idea to make. Maybe we should have snapped this thing in half years ago.
Yeah, what happens if a powerful worm spirit possesses a Gaia and then gets a hold of it? Oh wait, that's what happened in the novel.
This is why in 3.5 the Shell Lords have the crown and have locked it in a seal, because they know they can't trust each other with that gift.
Right, they know that even if they touch it or try to wear it, they'll just get incinerated because they know they don't deserve it either.
They're doing a better job running the nation than the Sorfangs were.
Right, but they're so selfish that the crown will literally burn them to ashes if they try to wear it.
You find a way how to mail that to Grandfather Thunder.
Well, that to Grandfather Thunder, suddenly it's empowered by an Incarna, and literally he's just using it to control all the Gyro into being Shadow Lords.
See, this is how you become a Celestine, Grandfather Thunder. You just need to get your hands on that crown. That's how you do it. And he will become the great fascist in the sky. And
way to go.
I think that's a good spot to end it for tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to edit this together, and I'll see if I can upload it.
All right.
All right.
All right. So thank you, Eden, for coming out. Thank you, Archie, for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I thank you for welcoming me here.
Yeah, sure. I feel like you had some good stuff to say. You're welcome back. All right. And GN, everyone. We'll see you next episode.
Good night.
Good night.
Press the
Take
buttons
care.
again, man.